Hi everyone, this is Laura Poirot. I'm here to debunk Nut's birth certificate. So let's go scroll down to my post and I'll be able to explain it for you or with you. Sorry, I've been a bit busy. Let me find it here. Okay, so this is the post I'm referring to. I decided there's many things I've debunked for a really long time and researched, but I've never really gotten around to posting or discussing and breaking with you guys. And there's just so much to things that it's difficult, with life in general and everything else. So please bear with me, but do know, like, if you were to ever ask me, hey Laura, have you covered this, or have you thought of this, and you can always ask me and I'll always respond and be honest with you. I'm pretty direct. That's just being Aussie, I think. But anyway, let's move on. So how I debunked this is looking into the birth certificate and the story that Dr. Malvis Martin from LA, Canoga Park, was the doctor or the obgyn in charge of delivering Nut when in 1981, of course, August the 4th in 1981. So let's have a look at the story. So the story is that he delivered Nut in an LA hospital, and it was called the West Park Hospital. And he said it was demolished 20 years ago. He can't remember her birth, of course. Of course, because, he delivered so many babies, even though in his obituary, because he passed away in 2022, he says, oh, well, not he, but they say that he moved to LA to California from New York after getting his medical license, after his degree and his residence. He moved from New York to LA in 79, and that gives him very little time to set himself up as an obgyn. So this doctor also had his license terminated. He didn't follow admin procedures or protocols, and he also let somebody who wasn't qualified help him conduct surgery on a woman who had cancer in her reproductive system. And when he did that, because this doctor was inexperienced, the cancer actually spread into the rest of her organs, and so he was sued. This is the sort of person that we're dealing with, and who they decided to get involved. So let's have a look at her birth certificate. You can see here, you've got Rachel Meghan Markle. You've got that Thomas was 36, and Doria was 25 in 1981 in August, which is impossible. To start off with, Doria would have to be 24. She was born in 56, September 1956. Yeah, so she would be 24 at the time of Nut's birth, turning 25 that year. And Thomas was born in July, when was it? 47? He's meant to be 37 at the time. So what is that? Oh, look, I'll get to it. I've got it written down, so you'll see it in a sec. Anyway, he's meant to be 37. So already the birth certificate is fraudulent. But we'll get into it a bit more. You can see that the attendant that's certified as has his signature in there is Melvis Martin for 22030 Sherman Way, Canoga Park. That wasn't the address of West Park either. Yeah, that wasn't the address for West Park Hospital. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we? All right. So a friend found out for me by actually contacting the hospital that I found to be Melvis Martin working at. They contacted the hospital UCLA West Valley Medical Center that was once Humana West Hills Hospital, and confirmed that Melvis Martin was working at the hospital, which is a very different hospital to West Park Hospital. It has a completely different location, from 1980 to 2003. So by the time that in his storyline, by the time that he came to LA in 79, by 1980, he was working for Humana West Hills Hospital. Now, I know that Humana, the actual company, bought out West Park Hospital in 1978. They merged. But West Park Hospital kept as is at that separate location. So that stayed. But anyway, let's move on. So you can see here, he also started his own practice in 1981. And you'll see the actual address there of West Park Hospital under his practice. But that was October 1981, not August 1981. So there's that. The article also states that he was working at the West Park Hospital and he had yet to have his own practice. So, however, he wasn't working at West Park Hospital. So let's have a look here. So this is the article that I found that actually from 1991 that explained that Melvis Martin was the chief of obstetrics. Apologies. Chief of obstetrics and gynecology at Humana West Hills Hospital. And that was when my friend actually contacted them and asked, when did he become the chief there at the hospital? And they said, well, we don't know when he was actually in a leadership position when he commenced that, but he was a staff member by 1980 and went on to 2003. Here is his license, I think, or his medical corporation. I think it's his medical corporation, rather. And that Roscoe Boulevard 22110 was where West Park Hospital used to be. That being said, that's on the 14th of October 1981. Now, this is just the wording. Don't get me wrong. Obgyns can deliver babies. Obviously, everyone's aware of that. The issue was in Daily Mail. They said that he was just a recently qualified gynecologist working at the hospital. I have a hard time with that because you don't call an obgyn in Australia, you don't call an obgyn a gynecologist. That's very, very, very different stuff. A gynecologist is simply for, keeping healthy downstairs. It's got nothing to do with assisting in the birth of a child. That's just doesn't happen. So 22030 Sherman Way, which is what was on the actual birth certificate here. If you can see here, it's a location, and I don't know what it was at the time, but it is now a location with numerous medical centers in the suites. So if he was a gynecologist at a hospital, that isn't the address for that isn't the address there for. Sorry, I just got. Give me a second here. I just 221. What? What? West Park Hospital, 22141 Roscoe Boulevard. That wasn't the address. The address is 22110 Roscoe Boulevard. I mean, you can see here, that would be his suite number. That would be the address. Sorry, I've just realized that. That's okay. So that's another thing. God, I just never ends with this stuff. Okay, back to it. So Sherman Way, that's located under Melvis Martin, under his address, which isn't actually as per his license. His license from 1978, when he obtained the California medical license, which is under G38477, is under the West Park address as well. West Park Hospital. So that yeah, that didn't. Sorry, I've lost it. Yeah, that didn't. That wasn't Sherman Way. Anyway, he is meant to have his own suite. There's no suite number listed there, and he definitely wasn't practicing there. He also didn't have his own private practice at that point in August 1981. As I said before, it's October 1981 that he actually registered his corporation or his company, whatever it is, his private practice, under the real West Park Hospital address, which you would have, if it was true, you would, under his license address, you would have that listed there, but it isn't there. So, that's just more information. As you can see here, if you look up Sherman Way, there's a range of different medical suites there. You can look that up yourself, I'm sure. Where am I? Okay, so that's it. Yep, so no suite reference. Now, this is what I was saying before. Thomas would have to be 37 years old by August 1981, because his birthday is July 18th, 1944. So that's just another one. And this is what I found out a bit later on into my research, that the license number is correct. As I said here, see, this is under Roscoe Boulevard. So this was under the West Park Hospital. Can you see here? November 1978 was when it was issued. So they're even lying as to when he arrived in California. I'm guessing possibly it could be to hide the real birth date. The fact that this was taken to his grave and it's in his obituary is quite nuts. So yeah, but you can see here, this is his actual signature. I took this from a legal document in one of his court cases where he had to confirm that he was qualified to be a doctor, and that he completed his bachelor degree at Albert Einstein of Medicine in New York, and then did the residency kind of work experience afterward. So you can see how he signs here. Oh, why have I got that up? Oh yeah, so this is the whole lie that in 1979 he moved in LA when he's already got the license by 1978. Where is it? But you can see here, see, this is where, right next to the G38477 is where his signature is meant to be. This is the section where you're signing and putting your name and address down and your license number to say you were the one who attended the birth of this child. Blacked out is the signature right next to the license number. However, there's like this big squiggle of an S, which is not even a part of his signature. So this is not his signature at all. If you have a look here, you can see there. So there's that. And I think that's about it. I remember saying here that his location, anyway, you can look up the locations regarding the UCLA, I think it's Humana West Valley Hospital. Sorry, it was Humana West Hills Hospital, but now it's UCLA West Valley Hospital. And it's this big white hospital that still exists, but it's a separate location from the closed West Park Hospital. So that is not possible. Now it's either that Malvis, birth, not obviously, I mean, if Dory did or not, who knows, but that he assisted in the birth of Nut. He either has done, but prior to this, or he hasn't done at all. I mean, he was a bit of a con. So that is definitely not his signature, and that was definitely not his address. And he definitely wasn't at West Park at the time, because UCLA confirmed that he was working for them at the other location by 1980. Thanks so much, guys.